Okay, Supriya. So let's continue with that topic of control and coordination. In the previous lecture, we were almost towards the end of the nervous system, where we had all the parts of the CNS, the reflex action, the PNS, the ANS, and we ended with something called receptors. Correct?
Receptors. Yes.
Like what are neurons? What are the different types of neurons, their functioning, how the impulses are carried by the neurons, right? How the response is generated, and effectors and receptors also we have seen. So we have seen all different types of receptors. The main function of a receptor is to gather the stimulus, perceive the stimulus, pass it on to the CNS, so that it can be processed and the respective response can be generated. Correct?
Yes.
So on this understanding of the receptor, okay, where it is the nerve ending that we talk about. Based on this understanding, we have to learn about something called the sense organs. Remember, in your childhood, there was this very common school level question: what are your sense organs?
Five sense organs.
Which are the sense organs you have? School children tell that in a very clear way. Sense organs. Correct. Eyes,
ears, nose, skin, lips.
Lips is not a sense organ. Ears, nose.
Ears, nose, eyes, nose, skin, and one more. Oh no, brain.
Brain is a sense organ or what? It is the tongue.
Tongue. Okay, yes, correct.
Right. These are the five sense organs that we have. So eyes, ears, nose, tongue. They are all in the face. The skin is present throughout the body.
Correct.
That's the reason when you say these sense organs, इसका मतलब क्या है? These are the organs which are able to make you understand what is there in your environment.
Okay, yes, correct.
A very childish question I'm asking. What are the function of the eyes? You're still thinking?
What are the function of the eyes? To see.
See. The functions of the ears?
To hear.
To hear. The function of the tongue?
To taste, which I can't.
And the nose?
To smell.
And skin has got various functions.
Yes.
Heat, light, everything, right? All these are the organs because of which you as an organism is able to understand what is there in your environment.
Yes, correct.
Getting it? Okay. Right now it is raining. So your eyes are able to see that it is raining. Your ears are able to hear that it is raining. So brain is able to process the stimulus from both the sense organs. Right?
Yes.
Just few minutes back you told me that the food that you are eating these days are very tasty. Correct? You are liking it. So that is because of the tongue.
Yes.
So here, as portion, you have to learn in detail about two sense organs. That is the eye and the human ears.
Yes, correct.
Okay?
Yes.
So let us see the eye first. Okay?
Yes.
How many eyes does a normal human have?
2.
Very good. Still you took a long time. Check your nervous system, right? So we know very well where are the eyes located. They are in the face. And technically, they are in the face. Okay.
Yes.
They are in the ventral side, below the. Okay. And if you see the skull, if you see of the skull, in this there are two deep sockets.
Yes, correct.
In the skull, correct? So balls are located in those deep sockets. Getting it? So we use the word ball for that. Okay, and in those sockets, surrounding the eyeballs, there is a layer of fat, a cushion of fat around it.
Cushion of fat. Nice.
Which need protection.
Yes.
Right, and these eyes that we have, right from the birth till the end of the person's life. Okay, it is the same eyes that we have. The eyes
Yes.
increase in size. Unlike other organs, where they undergo cell division and the size increases.
No. Yes.
Getting it? So it is a very unique thing that is created by nature. Here we are
Yes.
human eyes point of view, but mammalian eyes in general have the same structure.
Mammalian eyes.
Yes. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
We know something called as an eyeball. Now, comes to the eyes. Before we go into the eyes, let us take a look at the eyes structures which are surrounding the eyes. You
Yes.
know, there are bones just above the eyes.
Oh
Forehead,
yes.
पता चलते हैं? Right? Protection, right? That's a very important sense organ. Okay? Eyebrows,
Eyebrows.
hair.
Yes.
What is the function of the eyebrows? सोचा ये यहाँ पे ऐसे eyebrows
I
क्यों?
know the function of the eyebrows. Wait.
Imagine a person without eyebrows.
Oh yes. Ew. देखा.
So eyebrows का क्या function है?
Function of eyebrow.
Eyebrows says nothing but hair follicles.
Yes, correct.
Generally,
मतलब it is to keep our eyes मतलब clear of this.
Yes.
What is that?
Sweat.
Correct. Sweat. Yes.
Okay, like when we sweat, generally there is sweat trickling down the forehead. So these
Correct.
eyebrows are the ones which absorb it because sweat में mostly salts होते हैं. So if it enters the eyeball, it will start burning your eyes. तो वो protect करने eyebrows दिया हुआ है. That's one thing. ठीक है? Then two eyebrows exactly symmetrical, and you remember human beings are bilaterally symmetrical.
Oh yes, bilaterally symmetrical.
Exactly similar structure of the eyes on both. ऐसा है कि एक आंख को eyebrow है दूसरे को नहीं है. Unless and until we for some reason it's not going to happen. Getting it?
Okay. Yes.
Then.
Yes.
And the amount and the thickness of the eyebrows differs from one person to another. Some people have faint, some have very thick ones. Sometimes the eyebrows are so joined as a werewolf जैसा लगेगा, right? That's a different thing. ठीक है?
Okay, got it. Yes.
Have something called eyelids. What are eyelids?
Eyelids.
Eyelids. आंखों का ढक्कन. Correct?
Yes.
Close your eyes, open your eyes. It is the eyelids which are moving.
Yes.
Okay. So those eyelids are nothing but flaps of skin which you can cover.
What of skin?
Flaps of skin. Yeah, fold of skin. You say. You can open your eyelids. So when you are blinking your eyes, you are moving your eyelids.
Yeah.
Then at the tips of the eyelids, there are eyelashes that you have.
Yes.
Each eyelid has got eyelashes. Again, they are hair follicles.
Yes.
Correct? Can you remove your eyelashes?
No.
You won't feel like, right? So what is the role of these eyelashes now?
To remove the dust particles from entering your.
They act as brushes. Okay, when you close your eyes, whatever dust or extra particle is there, even the tears, that is absorbed and removed constantly.
Yes.
So yeah, eyelashes का function. So nature has given that proper symmetrical thing.
इसका और eyebrows में क्या difference है?
Eyebrows ऊपर है ना? They are more thicker, more in number.
Oh yes.
Prevent the sweat and also mental.
Oh yes.
आंख के अंदर से जो आते हैं उसको protect करते हैं.
Yes, correct.
Okay? Yeah. Then there is something called the lacrimal or the tear glands. You know very well.
Oh yes, tear gland.
Tears. Tears. Tears क्या होते हैं?
आंसू.
Oh, don't get emotional now. See, yes, it is asu, tears. But what is the reason why nature has provided us with this secretion called the tears? Why do the eyes produce the tears?
Wait,
There is some reason for that.
why do? No, no,
When
no.
you see somebody crying and producing the tears, what do you
Yes,
understand out of it?
he's crying or she's crying.
The person is crying. So crying
Yeah,
means the person is in which state of mind, happy or sad.
sad.
Normally it
Okay.
is sad, but sometimes a person is too happy also can cry.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So that means ultimately this secretion of the tears in large amounts indicates the emotional state of a person.
Emotional
This
state.
is something which is provided uniquely to human beings. Expression of emotion.
Okay.
If you see
Okay.
animal kingdom in the mammals, this is something only human beings can exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
That's a unique property. And secondly, it is incorrect to say that only under extreme happiness or extreme sadness the person will produce tears.
Oh
Tears are,
yes, no.
which are always
Huh.
produced. Your
Yes.
eyes cannot be dry. Getting it? They are always moist. They have to be moist. And that's the reason tears are always produced. So ये जो इस तरह का end है अंदर वाला, near,
हाँ. Yes. यहाँ
that
पे.
is where these lacrimal glands are present.
Yes. Correct.
वहाँ से tears produce होते हैं.
Lacrimal.
Getting it? That's why
हाँ.
we have this phenomenon called as blinking of the eyes.
Yeah.
When you blink your eyes, it's like you're wiping the tears on the eyeball and cleaning the eyeball.
Oh, okay. Got it.
That's why it happens sometimes. कि suppose कभी ऐसे जा रहे हैं आंख में dust चला गया.
हाँ, तो blink करता है हम लोग. Yeah.
Spontaneous reflex action. What do you do? अगर आंख में कुछ चला गया तो
I close my eyes.
your eyes open like this.
Oh yes.
You immediately shut your eyes. That's the first thing.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
after that, what you're supposed to do, once you realize that something has gone to the eyes and all, we have a tendency to rub the eyes with the fingers, but वो नहीं करना चाहिए.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing is to blink rapidly and to splash water.
Yeah.
तब वो निकल जाएगा.
हाँ. Yes.
Okay, and especially if you live in an area which has got hot weather, okay, एकदम गर्म environment है, so it's always better to keep your eyes cool.
Oh yes.
पानी splash करना, clean रखना. Especially if you, like as you said, कि after a long sleep when you wake up, your eyes look slightly different. पता है ना? You get those cloudy below the eyes. सुबह उठने के बाद होता है ना? So
No? Oh yes, of course.
what is that thing? It is nothing but accumulation of the tears and the dust.
Oh.
Enter the eyes once again. It should be clean.
Oh. Wow. Okay, got it.
नेचर ने ये सब अपने को phenomenon दिया हुआ है.
Okay, nice.
Your glands are for all these functions. So it's like when you blink your eyelids, they act as जैसे बारिश के मौसम में गाड़ी चलाते हैं तो उसमें स्क्रीन पे वाइपर चलता है.
Oh, वैसा. Nice.
साफ करते हैं तो view becomes clear. So these eyelids also do similar job.
Okay, समझा.
It's wiping the eyes. तो ये करना जरूरी है. That's the reason it is said as one of the practices कि when you're watching television, you're sitting in front of a computer or mobile, वो tendency हो जाता है कि हम blink करना भूल जाते हैं. Like you blink
Oh
after
yes.
time, so then your eyes will start paining and watering. या एकदम stress हो गया, number लग जाएगा. So that should be avoided. Okay, so eyes should
Oh.
be moist. And
Okay.
in front of a device or something when you're sitting, sit a little far from the device, not very close to the screen. That is not advisable. Okay? Then when you talk about the eyeball, we have the property of moving our eyeballs.
Oh yes.
Getting it? If I tell you face this side but you look that side, can you move your eyeball?
Of course.
Yes. Especially if you see Bharatanatyam dance form वगैरह में देखना कैसे eyeballs इधर उधर move करते हैं.
Oh yes, मेरे को आता है.
Ah, very good. Okay, so this movement of the eyeball is possible, voluntary. Okay, we can move your eyeball whenever and whichever direction we want. That is because of certain muscles.
What muscles?
6 set of muscles which control
Oh
the of the eyeball.
no. Okay.
This number. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Introduction of the outer part of the eye is clear.
Clear. Very
Consider
clear.
the same.
Yes.
Now let's go inside the eye. Okay.
Inside the eye. Let's
This
go.
is the diagram of the eyeball. Okay. Now, this eyeball, which is transparent towards the front.
Huh.
Okay, but this entire eyeball, the answer soon, the wall of the eyeball is having 3 layers over it.
Oh yes, I know. Yes.
Outermost layer को बोलते हैं sclera, also called as the sclerotic layer.
Okay. Okay. Huh.
Okay, outermost layer is called sclera, also called the sclerotic layer. Okay,
Yes.
second one is called choroid, and the
Choroid.
next one is called retina.
I know. Retina.
In the same order, you have to remember. Outermost is sclera. ये देखो, diagram में देखो.
Sclera. Oh yes.
Okay, the one which is shown in blue, the protective covering.
Okay.
It's called as sclera. So ये किस
हाँ.
fibroelastic connective tissue having collagen fibers. Remember
What?
they are
Fibro.
elastic fibers हैं, elasticity वाला property है, so that you can move the eyeball in some.
Oh yes. Correct. Yeah.
And they are made up of fibers which contain the protein collagen.
Collagen. Collagen is
That's a type of a protein.
protein. Okay.
Which have elastic property. Remember,
wow.
chemistry, biomolecules we have studied. Collagen.
Oh yes.
हाँ,
वो
इसीलिए
collagen.
बहुत
Okay,
जरूरी
got
है
it.
getting it. And animal tissue में we have learned about connective tissue also. So sclera या sclerotic layer का function क्या है? Providing attachment to the eyeball muscles. This is where the muscles of the eyeballs are connected. So if I want to move my eyeballs, I'll move the muscles. The muscles will pull the sclerotic layer and the eyeball will move.
So what?
Yeah.
1 second more, I can move this side.
Yes. Getting it? And overall, the entire eyeball is spherical, as you can see. But towards the front, the outer part, it is slightly bulged, as you can see.
Yes.
Now this sclerotic layer, ये जो blue में दिख रहा है, इसी sclerotic layer का जो front portion है, which is exposed to the outside, there it becomes a transparent layer. This one.
Oh yes.
ये देखना, blue यहाँ है, उसके आगे transparent है. That is called as. उसको बोलते हैं cornea. Cornea is nothing but a part of the sclerotic layer in the front, which is transparent.
Transparent, yes, I know.
Okay, then this cornea is the outermost front portion. Okay, so cornea and the entire sclerotic layer is entirely covered by a thin membranous covering, which is a transparent one.
Transparent membrane covering.
Conjunctiva.
Huh? Conjugative?
As the conjunctiva. Overall, sclerotic layer, including the cornea, is covered by a transparent membranous covering. जिसको conjunctiva बोलते हैं.
Okay, conjunctiva.
Monsoon में, especially, there is a disorder that happens, conjunctivitis.
Oh, I know.
So whenever the name of a disease ends with itis, it means swelling. Conjunctivitis का मतलब है swelling of the conjunctiva. ये जो thin membrane है, उसी का swelling होगा.
Okay, got it.
And this conjunctiva, इसका function क्या है? It provides protection first of all, outermost hem, and secondly lubrication to the cornea.
Lubrication?
Yeah, it has to be lubricated, well lubricated.
Correct. Yeah.
रहना चाहिए, friction नहीं होना चाहिए. Another conjunctiva.
Oh, yes, correct.
Getting it? Okay.
Yes.
ये जो front portion है, it is not completely spherical. As you can see, it is slightly bulged out. क्यों है? So that ultimately eye का जो functioning है, it is based on the light.
Yes, correct.
Based on light coming from outside. So light rays, when it is entering the eye, it should be able to properly focus into the eye.
Oh, okay.
वो focus करे इसीलिए आगे bulge.
Yes, okay, got it.
Getting it?
हाँ.
And the sclera, entire sclera portion is provided with blood vessels also. That's why if you observe your eyes very closely in the mirror, you can find slightly red color के ऐसा striation
Oh
जैसा
yes, I know. Yes.
वहाँ पे minute blood capillaries हैं. तो blood supply.
हाँ. Oh wow. Yeah.
ठीक है? Okay.
Hmm.
Now ये हो गया sclera या sclerotic layer के बारे में. ठीक है?
Yes.
Before continuing further, understand this one more part. Entire eyeball is broken into two parts.
Two parts.
ये देखना बीच में एक लेंस करके लेबल किया.
हाँ.
The lens in detail, but lens जहाँ पर located है, उसके वजह से there is one chamber in the front of the lens, and there is a bigger
Iris.
in the back.
Oh, this one. Oh yes. Yes.
Okay. So lens का आगे जो chamber है, anterior chamber बोलते हैं, that is known as aqueous humor, aqueous chamber, which is filled with a liquid called aqueous humor.
Oh, okay.
And the chamber behind the lens is called the vitreous chamber and filled with vitreous humor.
Humor.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay. Lens के आगे, towards the front, we have aqueous humor. Lens के पीछे, the bigger chamber is called vitreous chamber, having vitreous humor.
Vitreous humor. Yes. Okay, got it.
Vitreous humor. ये दोनों जो हैं, these two are nothing but thick, consistent fluids having their own refractive index.
Okay, got it.
पानी से थोड़ा
I
ज्यादा
knew it.
index
Yes.
है. So aqueous refractive index के वजह से light rays focus होते हैं. It enters the lens. And vitreous humor has got a refractive index slightly larger than aqueous humor. So light properly focus होते हैं.
Okay, got it.
Otherwise they are both transparent. ठीक है? Understood this part properly? So understood what happens in conjunctivitis? It is the inflammation of the conjunctiva. Okay.
Okay.
So that was all about the sclera. And we have also seen aqueous humor, vitreous humor.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's go to the second layer next to the sclera, that is the choroid. Choroid, also called
Correct.
choroid is also called uvea. You can see this. What is it called as? Uvea.
Uvea.
Okay. So you can see blue में जो दिखा है, that's the sclera. Next to that inter is the choroid.
Choroid.
It is a vascular and a pigmented layer. Vascular मतलब it has got blood vessels. Pigmented means it has got cells having a respective color.
Color. Yes. Correct.
Okay. So again, that is not divided into complete, like it is not a completely filled up layer. It has got regions. The first region is called the choroid proper. Second one is called the ciliary body.
Okay. And the third one is the iris. Yes.
Okay, the choroid is divided into three parts. And remember, alternate name choroid is called uvea.
Uvea.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, got it.
Proper now. It is the one
Yes.
which is exactly the sclera, just below that.
Oh yes.
Okay, it has got a pigmented nature. Because of it, pigments का function क्या हो गया यहाँ पे? Not just giving color. When light rays enter the eye, inside the eye, they should not keep on reflecting here and there. Otherwise, it will be all flash for us. Okay, whatever we see is a clear image. So to that internal reflection, the choroid proper has got the pigmentation. And secondly, it has got the vascular supply, the blood supply. So the retina, which is the very important part of the eye, that should get proper nutrition and oxygen.
Oh, okay.
That is given by choroid proper, and the other main thing is prevents internal reflection.
Okay, समझ गया. Got it.
Okay.
Yes.
That was the first layer. Secondly, it is the ciliary body. Okay, ciliary body. If you observe in the diagram, it is not exactly shown, but ciliary body is like it is a muscle. It is a kind of a muscle which holds the lens.
Which?
They are thick, muscular, ring-like structure.
Ring-like.
Yes. Okay.
How?
And it is present between the choroid and the iris. Can you see the iris here?
Oh yes.
So
Is it?
just in front of
Oh.
the lens, there is the iris present. So between
Oh yes, I know this. Yes, of
iris,
course.
there is a ring-like muscle called ciliary muscle.
Okay, got it.
Body.
Got it.
Okay. So the epithelium of the ciliary body, that is the one which secretes the aqueous humor. The front chamber, aqueous chamber. जहाँ पे है aqueous.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
Okay, that is secreted by the epithelium of the ciliary body. And ciliary body, there is something called suspensory ligaments attached.
Suspensory ligament?
Suspensory ligaments are attached to the ciliary body.
Okay.
Suspensory ligaments are the ones which hold the lens in its position. This is the lens.
Oh, wow. Okay, got it.
They don't move.
Okay, got it.
Adjusting the size of the lens according to the requirement of the eye is done by the ciliary body as well as suspensory ligaments.
Yeah, correct. Okay.
Understood?
Yes.
Then you have something called the iris.
Iris.
Speaking, iris is the colored portion of the eye.
Yes.
If I ask you what is the color of your eye, you say black. So it's not
yes.
which is black. The front portion, the geometric center of the eyeball in the front.
Yes.
That is where the color is there. That is located at the junction of the sclera and cornea.
Sclera and cornea.
So
Okay,
there
yes,
is a
correct.
thin and colored partition called iris.
Iris.
Getting it? So mostly people have black eyes, but sometimes it can be blue, it can be green, right? Hazel, ऐसे करके अलग-अलग colors होते हैं. They are different. They are genetically controlled. You know that.
Correct. Yes.
So most common is black one, and both the eyes will have normally same color. Getting it?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this
Got it.
iris, in the center of the iris is a small perforation or an aperture, जिसको बोलते हैं pupil.
Pupil. Yes. Correct.
That's from the word pupa, which means doll. So it's like if you observe anybody's eyes very closely, if you look at the eyes of anyone very closely, you can understand, you can see yourself in it in a small form of a very small miniature doll.
Yes.
That's of the pupil.
Oh, that doll. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Yes. Got it.
So it's like the size of the pupil can be adjusted by the help of the muscles, and you can adjust the amount of the light that enters your eyes.
Yes. Correct.
And then the pigment in the iris determines the color of the eye.
Okay. Got it.
Understood the three parts of the choroid?
Yes.
Choroid.
Choroid.
Okay. Then ciliary body.
Uvea. Sorry.
Okay. And third is iris.
Yes. Correct.
Is it clear?
Clear.
Now let's talk about the lens.
Lens. I
Physics.
had a whole chapter.
In physics, you learn about lens, refraction,
Yes.
right? You draw the ray diagrams, convex and concave lens and all. There is a similar type of a lens we have in our body, in our eyes.
How?
Okay. It is a transparent structure. It is,
Yes.
that's why it can change its shape. And it
Yes.
has a convex lens. Remember this point.
Oh yes, biconvex. Yes.
Convex lens. Okay, so there are suspensory ligaments which hold the lens in its place. And you know very well, aqueous chamber, vitreous chamber, the jelly-like substance in both. Okay, so this lens and these chambers, they maintain the shape of the eyeball.
Maintain the shape of. Oh, okay. Got
Change the
it.
shape
Yes.
of the eyeball too much, like what happens in Tom and से बाहर आ जाते हैं, right? That doesn't happen. Okay, so they also in maintaining
Okay, yes.
the pressure to keep the lens in position. दोनों aqueous chamber, vitreous chamber, a constant balanced pressure होगा, so lens will be remaining in that position.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Okay, so understood about the lens also properly.
Yes, lens is clear. Yes.
Then the innermost wall of the eyeball, that is the retina.
Retina.
First one was
Yes.
sclera, followed by choroid, third is retina.
Yes.
So it is the innermost delicate.
Third is retina. Then lens is
क्या हुआ? See
other.
the अंदर वाला orange, light yellow, whatever color.
Ah, okay. Okay, got it. Yes.
Okay,
got
that ये तीन wall layers है ना?
Ah, correct. Okay,
Sclera,
got it.
choroid and retina. Okay, so delicate, non-vascular. That means it does not have any blood vessel supply. Blood
Retina
supply.
में
Very important.
oh हाँ retina में नहीं है. Yes, correct. You're right.
Okay,
You're right. Yes.
it is a light sensitive layer. That is very important.
Yes.
It is a retina which is sensitive to the light.
Yes.
Again, the retina has got two regions. Okay, you have a single layer of pigmented non-sensory part. See, we say retina is a light sensitive layer, but there is one region of the retina which is non-sensory. It lines the iris and the ciliary body, the front part. See this. ये दिख रहा है लाइट ऑरेंज लेंस के ऊपर वाला
हाँ
next to the iris.
yes
That is that part of the retina which is a non-sensitive one.
oh yes you're right हाँ
Okay.
हाँ
Second part of the sensory part, it is the one that lines the choroid. That means overall in the vitreous, the lining, this part.
yes correct I can see yes
Got it?
yes got it
And usme bhi, in the sensory part also, it has got a pigmented part which is outer and inner one which is a nervous part. That means it is supplied with nerves. You can see the optic nerve.
हाँ
ये अंदर वाला जो नर्व से सप्लाइड है एंड ये जो बाकी का पोर्शन है दिस इज सप्लाइड विद द पिगमेंट्स रेटिना पिगमेंट्स विल सी द डिटेल्स
can you repeat again
सी
optic nerve
यस रेटिना जो है अंदर वाला द सेंसरी पार्ट ओके this part lining the vitreous chamber it is sensitive to the light and it has got the pigmented cells.
okay yes you're right
And then this is one portion which is supplied with the nerve endings. Getting it? Because
oh समझा मेरे को okay got it
whatever object is in front of you उसमें से लाइट अंदर जा रहे तो रेटिना पे उस object का इमेज बनेगा
yes correct
is then carried in the form of an impulse through the optic nerve. That's how the retina functions. Okay?
yes right
The nervous part of the retina it is transparent and then it has again made up of three layers.
oh wow I know the thing
Outer layer, a middle layer and inner layer in the nervous system. Outer photosensitive layer जिसमें दो टाइप के सेल्स होते हैं rod cells and cone cells.
rod cells
and cone cells. Middle layer it has got bipolar nerve cells. Remember unipolar, bipolar, multipolar neurons के types दिखाए थे. So bipolar neurons are characteristically found in the retina.
oh yes yes
Okay, so second layer and the innermost layer is made up of something called ganglion cells.
Yes I know
ये तीन layers है इसका the nervous part of the inner part of the retina. Got it? Take a look at this diagram which shows you the detailed structure of the retina. Okay.
this is retina
Yes, this is the structure, the histology of the retina. Pay attention. See, this is the outer sclera. Okay. Inner to that is the choroid. and behind the choroid or internal to the choroid, you are having the entire retina portion. Correct?
Oh yes, I can see. Yes.
All the layers or the parts one by one. सबसे पहले there is a pigment epithelium. That means there is one layer of epithelium cells which is having pigments.
Oh yes, correct. You're right.
Above that, there are two types of cells which you can see: the rod cells and the cone cells.
This is rod cell.
Yeah, you
Oh
can
wow,
see
अच्छा दिख रहा है.
that's why because of the shape they are known as the rod cells. Okay.
अच्छा, okay. Oh, they look like rods.
In between,
Yes.
you can see conical shaped cells present.
What is that?
Yes, we'll see the functions of
That
them.
is cone.
Yeah, it's like rod cells.
Okay.
Cone cells. Okay. Then you have
Okay.
are connected by something called as horizontal cell. Can you see that?
Horizontal cell.
दिखाई देगा.
Huh? Where?
You can
Oh
see
yes, I can see.
right? So they are
Yes.
horizontal cells, and in सब connection है with the nerves. ये क्या दिख रहा है?
Oh yes.
The nerve.
No.
That is the receptors. Okay.
Aha.
Then
Yes.
behind that you have the bipolar neuron. Can you see?
Bipolar cell. Yes, correct. Huh.
These are rods and cones से connected.
Oh wow.
There is
Okay.
something called as amacrine cell. ये देखो in between.
And what cell?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Ganglion cell. See the names and the locations. Getting it?
Okay, getting it.
Amacrine cell, ganglion cell. All these are then ultimately connected to the optic nerve.
Optic nerve. Okay,
Which
got
takes
it.
the stimulus
Oh
to-
wow.
Got it? So basically, in the retina, if you see the structure, you see all these layers, right?
Okay. Correct.
In the retina, in the diagram also, if you see, can you see something called blind spot?
Oh, blind spot. Yes.
As the name suggests, if there is light falling on the blind spot, then no image is created. Though it is a part of the retina.
Wait, I can't hear you.
Though it is
Say it again.
the retina, if the light falls on this part, there is no image created.
What?
Yes. Okay. Because this is the place where this is that part of the retina where there is no presence of rod cells and cone cells. That's
Oh, okay.
इसलिए उसको blind spot करके बोलते हैं.
Okay, got it.
Getting it? Okay. Then
Yes, getting it.
the other thing that you see, एक है yellow spot. I don't know it is. ये देखो fovea करके दिखा है ना?
Fovea. Yes, I can see.
A yellow spot. Okay.
Fovea.
It's the point in the retina where there is maximum number of rod cells and cone cells present. So if
Oh, two spots.
image correctly, then the light rays should exactly form an image on the fovea, the yellow spot.
Okay.
The yellow spot of the fovea is the point of best vision, and blind spot is the point of no vision on the retina.
That's why it's called blind spot. Okay, great. Got it.
Understood this?
Nice. Yes, okay, got it.
Now, here it is. Blind spot is that part of the retina where optic nerve and blood vessels they leave the eyeball, and that's why there are no red cells and cone cells in this region.
Oh yes, I know.
Yellow spot is called macula lutea. Other name for
What, sir?
macula lutea. Yellow spot code.
Okay.
Yes.
Macula lutea.
The center of the yellow spot there is a slight difference. जिसको बोलते हैं lobia centralis.
Lobia
Centralis.
centralis. Okay.
Okay, it's a slight depression in the center of the yellow spot. That
Got it.
maximum density of cone cells, and that's why there is the sharpest vision which you get. ये मतलब in a healthy person having a proper eye, the eyeballs always try their best to adjust the structure and the shape of the lens in such a way that whatever object is there in the front, uska image directly yellow spot pe gire. So you see things
Oh,
completely.
okay. Got it. Got it.
Okay. So light,
Yes.
you can see the diagram again. Light rays का direction देखना. यहाँ से पास होके rod cells and cone cells पे आ रहे हैं.
हाँ, correct.
Cone
Yes.
cells. Rod cells are concerned with the light intensity.
Oh, yes, correct.
Cells में there is a pigment present. Okay, see this given.
हाँ,
इन सबको हम लोग photoreceptor cells करके बोलते हैं, rod cells and cone cells.
photoreceptor.
Because they
Okay,
are
got
able
it.
to conceive and receive the light. That's why
Oh,
photoreceptors.
yes.
Okay, so they
हाँ,
contain light
yes.
sensitive proteins which are called photopigments.
Phototic.
Yes, photopigments.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
so उसमें जो cones
हाँ.
cone cells are responsible for daylight vision and also color vision. Cone color CC ऐसे आता है.
Oh, okay, ठीक है.
Okay,
चलेगा.
daylight vision and color vision.
Yes.
That's why it is called photopic vision.
Okay, got it.
Daytime में light होता है. While the rod cells they are concerned with dim light. इसलिए बोलते हैं
ठीक है,
photopic.
got it.
Okay, so there
हाँ.
is a pigment which is called rhodopsin present in the rod cells. ये pigments का नाम
Okay, got it.
purple red colored protein pigment.
Oh, okay.
Purple red colored protein pigment called rhodopsin present in the rod cells, and this pigment derived from vitamin A, which goes from your diet.
Oh no, okay, got
Good
it.
amount of vitamin A if you have carrots in good amount, तो वो help करेगा
हाँ.
rhodopsin pigment बनाने के लिए, which will help you visualize properly in the dim light.
Oh, okay. ठीक है, समझ गया.
Cones.
Yes.
Cone cells, they are again of three types and having their own
Oh
characteristics.
no.
So you know very well.
Okay.
We have learned about color blindness.
Oh yes, I have.
So it is red, green, and blue light. Three contrasting colors.
Okay.
In contrasting colors के combination के वजह से we are able to understand the color of the object in front of us.
Oh, okay.
Three
Okay, got it.
types of cone cells, they are stimulated properly, equally. We can perceive it as light.
अच्छा, okay, got it.
White light technically is a combination of 7 colors.
What?
With your
7?
7 colors with your rainbow के 7 colors पता है ना? Violet,
हाँ.
blue, green, yellow, orange, red.
Yes, correct.
7 colors मिलाकर white light होता है. We call it
Correct.
as spectrum.
Wow.
Okay, in physics you must be learning about prism.
Oh yes.
When light
Prism. Prism में था ये.
prism,
correct.
it disperses into 7 colors.
Yes, you are right.
ये white light अपने आंख में cone cells के वजह से detect होता है.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Okay, so cone cells,
Yes.
the pigment present है, that is called as iodopsin. I don't know it is mentioned.
Iodopsin.
It's called iodopsin.
Okay.
Rod cells में rhodopsin.
Rhodopsin. Okay. ठीक
Optic
है.
कैसे arise होता है? It goes all the way to the retina of the brain and carries the visual impulses.
Okay, got it.
तो stimulus मिलता है कि yes, the object in front of you is so and so.
Okay, ठीक है, समझ गया.
Okay, now apart from human beings, there is this interesting point given. If you have noticed animals like cats and dogs in the dark, their eyes in the night, cats and dogs, उनके आंखों को देखा है अंधेरे में?
Yes.
They start glowing.
Oh
Right?
yes. I know.
So in their eyes, behind the retina, there is one more layer, which is a reflecting layer. उसको बोलते हैं tapetum lucidum.
What?
Animals like cats and dogs. Even in the cat,
Okay.
even all the cat
Oh
family.
wow.
में tiger वगैरह देखेंगे तो भी वैसे ही. You can see how their eyes
Okay.
go. So that is because of called tapetum lucidum behind the retina. That's the reason that I.
Okay, got it.
Okay, understood properly. So,
Understood.
eyes function and how you can understand the perception of an image. तो क्या होगा? The first layer through which the light passes is the conjunctiva.
Is the?
Conjunctiva.
Oh yes, conjunctiva.
करके light will enter through the pupil.
Pupil.
Which is in the centermost part of the iris.
Yes, you are right.
Choroid.
हाँ.
तो pupil से पास होते हुए it will enter the aqueous chamber.
Aqueous chamber.
In the aqueous humor.
Yes, you are right.
The lens.
हाँ.
It is a biconvex lens.
Yes.
The lens is able to adjust the shape and the size according to the requirement. Like if you are trying to see things which is very near to you, your eyeballs change. If you are trying to see far away, your eyeballs change. The lens is adjusted.
Yes. That is the pupil.
Yes, that is the lens which you adjust. Pupil to it's a small.
Oh yes, correct.
Getting it. So because of the flex.
Getting it.
Of the lens, you are changing technically the focal length of the lens.
Focal length.
That is the application of what you learn in physics. Focal length अगर change किया तो object का distance के हिसाब से determine होगा image distance कहाँ पे बनेगा.
हाँ, correct. Yes.
The case of a ray diagram in your draw. Right.
Oh yes.
Into that. Adjust the focal length of the lens in such a way that the light rays entering inside after the lens passing through the vitreous humor where it gets more focused. The aim is that the image should be formed on the yellow spot.
Oh, yellow spot.
Yes.
That is.
वो होगा aim है कि yellow spot पे image बन गया so the optic nerves will be able to detect and send the best.
That is fovea.
Fovea नहीं actually yellow macula lutea करके है. Okay, it is not shown in the diagram, but it is somewhere near here. Fovea भी हो सकता है.
Oh, okay, got it.
If the eyeball is present in such a way that light rays are detected on the blind spot, though technically all the parts are proper, but because it is found on the blind spot, the brain is not able to detect.
अच्छा, okay, got it.
Yellow spot पे बनना चाहिए.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Yes.
There is something. Eyes से related बहुत सारे ऐसे properties हैं eyes के. The most important thing is accommodation.
Accommodation. Okay. Yes.
का मतलब है कि your lens is able to make some fine adjustment so that according to the objects which are near or far, you change the lens. If you are sitting in a class is going on, so if you are sitting in a first and you are sitting in the last bench, your lens will change. See what is there on the board.
Oh, हाँ, correct.
Yes. करते हैं, उसको बोलते हैं accommodation power of the lens.
Okay, got it.
Yes, it has got its own range, getting it, but it has got some range. That's called accommodation power.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Then there is something called as persistent vision. ये यहाँ पे दिया नहीं, but I'm just telling you. Persistent vision of them. Try and imagine this situation. Okay. Suppose I show you side of a page. ठीक है? एक ऐसा पेज जिसके ऊपर मैंने ड्रॉ किया हुआ है एक केज. ओके. बर्ड का empty cage. ठीक है? हाँ. Other side of the page, if I draw parrot, only a parrot.
Okay, parrot.
I will show you an empty cage. Your eyes will see. Okay, and your eyes will picture in your brain that this is a cage.
Okay.
Okay, I will turn the page. Show the parrot. Your eyes will see. Your brain will visualize and understand it's a parrot being shown.
Okay, yes, you're right.
Change the image very fast in front of you.
Yes.
Cage parrot. Though they are two different sides, but I'm showing you fast दैट एक टाइम के बाद ब्रेन ऐसा डिटेक्ट करेगा कि पैरट इज इनसाइड द केज।
Oh, okay.
कंसिस्टेंस ऑफ विजन कि एक इमेज जो ब्रेन में बन जाता है
हाँ,
फ्रैक्शन ऑफ अ सेकंड से 0.1 सेकंड्स, उसके अंदर अगर
yes.
मैं का इमेज घुसा दिया तो दोनों इमेज ओवरलैप हो।
हाँ. Oh, yes.
गेटिंग
Oh,
इट?
wow. Nice.
Consistence
Yes,
of,
getting it.
is that clear?
Clear.
Imagine
Very clear.
imagine a situation like you are nicely fast asleep in a dark room. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Now suddenly the light is put on and you open your eyes. कैसे लगता है?
Oh, yes. हाँ.
How do you feel? There's some kind of discomfort in the eye.
Discomfort in the eye.
You cannot see the light clearly. थोड़ा आंखों में blink करते हैं, avoid करते हैं. Because the
हाँ, correct.
are suddenly not used to this change in the intensity of the light. उसको time लगता है.
Yes, you're right. Yes.
That is the thing.
Oh, समझा मेरे को अभी. Yes, now I get it.
Now is it clear?
Yes, it is clear.
तो ये
Yes,
पांच
sir.
यहाँ पे very nicely it is given. When the light rays fall on the eye, there are changes in the retina which take place.
Okay.
Okay, so light rays
Yes.
will fall on the rod and cone cells in the retina.
हाँ.
According to whatever is the wavelength of the light,
हाँ.
lights
अच्छा, okay, समझा.
will break up. Rhodopsin, iodopsin जो मैंने बताया.
Rhodopsin.
Rhodopsin of the rod cells, iodopsin of the cone cells. They will break up because of the
Okay.
specific wavelength. Okay.
हाँ.
Then there
Yes.
will be stimulation of the rod and cone cells, and across bipolar neuron there will be generation
हाँ.
of nerve impulse. एक nerve impulse generate होगा जो bipolar neuron से transmit होगा.
Oh, okay, got it.
That nerve impulse from the bipolar neuron will then pass on to the ganglion cells जो उसके ऊपर है.
Ganglion cells. Yes.
Okay, and then in the axis
Yes.
of the ganglion cells, all the nerve impulses will convert. अलग-अलग
Yes.
आ रहा है तो एक जगह जमा होंगे ganglion cell के axon,
Okay.
and then it will
हाँ.
go to the optic nerve.
Okay, got it.
That optic nerve will transmit this impulse to the brain.
Oh.
Then the brain
Oh.
will perceive that image in the visual area of the cerebrum. Cerebrum के अलग-अलग lobes हमने discuss किए.
Oh, yes, I remember.
There is a visual area, occipital lobe, if you remember.
Yes. Yes. Occipital lobe.
Optic nerves पहुंचाएगा कि ये image है सामने.
Okay, समझा.
You see any object in front of you.
हाँ.
Suppose, Supriya, I'll ask you like this. What is this?
This is a phone.
See how fast your brain has worked. Just showed you. Your eyes have understood. Light यहाँ पे गिरा, reflect होके went into your eyes, and then these things it went all the way to your occipital lobe. Occipital lobe has detected that this is a mobile phone. And via the motor neurons, it has sent a message to the muscles of your mouth. It would tell your mouth and tell that this is a mobile phone. Imagine how
Bhagwan. Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
getting it. That's the beauty of this.
How do you explain that? How, wow. Okay, got it.
Getting it. So like that you can
Yes.
practically understand what are the things that happen in your life every day.
Correct. Yes.
That's all about the human eye.
Human eye.
Any doubt in the human eye?
Not yet.
Yes. You have to learn.
No, not yet.
Practice करना है, read करना है.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So now to the next important sense organ that we have, and that is the ear.
Scan.
Yes. How many ears does a normal human being have?
Wait, I'll tell you. I know.
Oh.
2.
Wow, very nice. Good, you gave it a thought.
Thank you.
Technically, where are the ears located?
I know.
Of course, you know. If you don't know, then you're gone. Where are the ears located?
It is located in
On the either side of the head.
Either.
On the lateral sides. Now it is not ventral or dorsal. It is lateral, located on either side of the head.
Lateral. Yes, correct.
And if I ask you the function of the ears, what is that? Ears का function क्या है? There are two functions of the ears. Hello, Supriya, are you there?
I am there. What happened?
No, I was not able to hear you anything.
Oh.
Two functions of the ears. What are they? One is hearing, and the other one is body equilibrium.
Sir, what?
Yes, that means body equilibrium means body balance, posture.
Oh.
Also because of the ear. Yes.
Oh yes. Right. Oh हाँ ये भी connected है. Yes.
Okay. So that's
yes,
the human ear को बोलते हैं statoacoustic organ.
Sir, what?
We call it as a statoacoustic
organ. Okay.
Stato matlab balance, acoustic matlab hearing, both the functions.
Okay.
This ear that we have, it is not only this part that you see. Human ear is divided into three parts. Each ear consists of one external ear, there is a middle ear, and there is an inner ear. See the diagram. Here.
Yes, you're right.
This part is the external ear. These are the middle ear portion, and this is the internal ear.
Yes.
The thin part, and that is for both. Getting it?
Yes.
External ear.
Yes, getting it.
There is one ear pinna. This flap.
Ear canal.
This ear pinna.
Oh, wow.
Characteristic feature of only mammals in the animal kingdom.
Only mammals?
Only mammals. Mammalia. Kingdom class Mammalia under Kingdom Animalia.
Oh, class Mammalia. Yes, you're right.
Group of animals which have got an ear pinna.
Ha, correct.
Then there is one auditory canal followed by a tympanic membrane.
Yes.
Three parts of the external ear. The ear pinna.
Yes. Oh, I remember.
It's a flat portion that we have. So why nature has provided this advanced feature? In the case of humans, it's an immovable part. We cannot move on our own.
Correct.
This is not for all the mammals. Elephants, you know how nicely they can flap their ears.
Yes, you're right.
It's something which is according to the requirement of the animal. But for the movement, muscles in the ear pinna. Okay.
Correct.
Ultimately, why it is provided to us? What is the role of the ear pinna? It's like a structure like this. So when ear pinna is there, it is able to focus the sound waves inside the ears.
Oh, it is for the sound wave. Yes, correct.
It's like suppose if you are somebody from very far is trying to tell you something, shouting at the top of the voice. So in order to hear it, you do something like this. Kya bola?
Yes.
Doing like this. मतलब artificial एक पिना जैसा रख रहे हैं हम लोग. So sound wave अंदर
Yes, correct.
That's how. Getting it?
Yes, I agree.
Does it have a bone?
No.
यहाँ पे bone नहीं.
Oh yes.
It is made up of cartilage.
Cartilage.
You learned about cartilage.
Yes, I have.
Bone होता तो imagine when you lie down to sleep.
Yes.
यहाँ bone लगेगा. But a cartilage है, that's why it is flexible.
Oh yes, correct.
Getting it? Okay. So yes.
Getting it.
Then inside the ear pinna, it has got different lobes, which is called the auricle.
Okay? Auricle. Yes. Auricle तो उसमें था ना? No, yes, you're right.
Almost similar shape, yes. Ear lobes is this portion of the ear pinna. जहाँ पे इयररिंग्स वगैरह
हाँ yes
as far as the earlobes. So
हाँ
the size of the earlobes, how open, how closed, that depends from one person to another. It's a
yes
trait. Getting it?
okay got it
Then
getting it
just next to the ear pinna, you have the auditory canal. ये देखो. Okay, यहाँ से auditory
auditory
canal.
canal oh
Means
oh this is auditory canal
yes. So whatever sound wave
okay
selected, it passes through the auditory canal. This
अच्छा okay ठीक है got it
is lined by wax secreting cells. There are glands. There is fine
wax
as well as wax secreting glands, also called as the
wax
sebaceous
secreting
glands. उसको बोलते
okay got it
हैं glands. They produce a secretion called as sebum.
what Shivam
Okay, sebaceous glands secreting sebum. तो ये
okay
auditory canal के lining को
sebaceous
lubricated करता है. There's no friction.
अच्छा ठीक है
And ears are
Okay.
always open, so dust वगैरह कभी जाएगा तो it will be able to trap and keep it clean.
oh nice
That's
okay
the
got
reason
it
they said it is advised that as a hygienic practice. हम लोग कान में अंदर
हाँ
करने के लिए करते हैं ना.
हाँ
Some people they use those needles and pins also to clear up. That is dangerous.
no I know
Okay,
yes
especially it is always
yes
better to avoid it.
it
Nature
is harmful
everything. Okay, yeah.
yes correct it is very harmful
साफ करना भी हो तो प्रोफेशनल एक्सपर्ट के पास जाएं और एल्स सॉफ्ट कॉटन बड्स क्लीन
oh
वन
yes cotton bud
दैट शुड बी डन एंड
Yes.
स्लाइटली जस्ट वाइप अप ऐसे एकदम दबा के
Correct.
नहीं करना है बिकॉज दैट्स
yes you're right
its nature is secreted. You cannot remove it out completely. That will be problematic.
yes correct yes
Okay, just हल्का सा क्लीन करना. That's enough. Getting it?
correct getting it
Yeah. Now, in innermost to the auditory canal. Auditory canal
innermost
end हो रहा है.
this is the auditory canal wait
Green
oh
colored
yes
structure
innermost
called the eardrum.
green
ये दिख रहा है eardrum. Tympanic membrane करके भी बोलते हैं इसको. ये दिख रहा है?
oh yes eardrum yes
It is
correct
labeled
I can
as
see it
eardrum, but literally there is no drum over there. Drum का मतलब क्या है कि ड्रम जब बजाते हैं तो there is a stretched membrane जिसके ऊपर हम बजाते हैं. So उसमें vibrations हो
correct
produces the sound.
yes
So it is just a
Yes,
stretched
yes.
membrane over here. That's called drum. So whatever sound waves enter, वो eardrum को vibrate करेगा.
okay
That is called the
okay
eardrum. So up to the eardrum is the
Nice.
external ear.
ठीक है okay
अंदर की तरफ है middle ear, followed by the internal ear.
okay
Getting it? Okay.
getting it
Okay. Coming to the eardrum is also called as the tympanic membrane. Remember that.
yes tympanic membrane
Yes. Now coming to the middle ear. Middle ear.
middle ear
3 ear ossicles present. When you say
so what
it means tiny bones.
oh
Ossicles matlab tiny bones. So there are
tiny bones
small bones present in the middle ear labeled as the malleus, the incus and the stapes. Present one
sir
after
repeat
malleus, incus and
हाँ
stapes. ये तीनों यहाँ पे दिख रहा है.
oh yes I can see
One
yes
can be malleus followed by the incus followed by the
incus okay got it
stapes नाम का bone है innermost. That is the smallest bone in our entire body. Remember that.
smallest body
Of the middle ear is the smallest bone of the entire body.
what okay got it
Largest bone in our body is the femur, in the thigh bone.
yes
And the smallest one is the stapes of the middle ear.
takes okay
Incus stapes. They are also called
हाँ
hammer, anvil, stirrup. They alternate names.
hammer
Yes, malleus को hammer बोलते हैं.
oh wow nice okay
Incus is called anvil. And stapes is,
anvil
it is given over here. See this. Hammer.
yes I can see
Okay.
yes.
anvil,
हाँ.
stirrup. Stirrup is the smallest bone in our body.
Smallest bone in the body. Yes, correct. Got it.
Sound waves अंदर गया, auditory canal से pass, vibrated the eardrum,
Yes.
tympanic membrane. Eardrum or the tympanic
Yes.
vibrates. The vibrations are passed
Yes.
to the three ear ossicles. So जैसे sound wave
Okay.
malleus, incus, stapes.
Yes, correct.
As and when they vibrate, these ear ossicles, they also amplify the vibrations.
Amplify?
बड़ा करेगा vibrations.
Acha, okay. Okay.
Getting it. And then
Oh, yes, getting it.
to the ear ossicles, there is a layer, there is a part called cochlea.
What, Leah? Oh, yes, I know cochlea.
ये देखो,
Yes.
ये जो जिलेबी जैसा दिख रहा है,
Cochlea.
ऐसा cochlea. So ear
Cochlea.
ossicles will transmit the vibrations to the cochlea.
Okay, got it.
And cochlea is the one which
Getting it.
concerned with hearing. We will come back to cochlea once again.
Okay. Cochlea.
Before that,
Yes.
in the ear, besides the three ear ossicles, there's also something called a eustachian tube. ये देखो,
What, sir?
ये देखो, eustachian tube, ये देखो, auditory tube लिखा है ना?
हाँ, correct.
Okay, यहाँ से नीचे की तरफ जा रहा है, तो eustachian tube from the middle ear is connected to the nasal cavity.
Is connected to the?
Nasal cavity.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That's the reason डॉक्टर्स में स्पेशलिस्ट होते हैं ENT स्पेशलिस्ट, ear, nose, throat.
ENT specialist. Yes, I know.
Because there is a connection internally.
Yes.
Getting it?
Yes, getting it.
Okay. So ये eustachian tube in the middle ear is from both the ears we have an eustachian tube. तो वो हवा के प्रेशर को बैलेंस करता है on both the sides.
Yes.
Because
Yes,
ear
yes.
is open, air is always entering. So there is a change in the pressure.
Correct.
Sometimes you must have experienced if you travel by road to a hill station. Okay. पहाड़ियों में जाते हैं by road. So when you go on Ghats road like this constantly, your hearing changes.
Oh, it does?
Yes.
No, wait.
Or if you have traveled by flight, so पूरा flight journey होने के बाद when you land, sometimes your hearing is dim. थोड़ा time, because there is a sudden change in the atmospheric pressure. So your ears are getting adjusted to it. तो eustachian tube की वजह से. That is the one which is the atmospheric pressure.
Oh, okay. Okay.
अच्छी तरह समझा eustachian tube.
Of course.
Air pressure on both sides of the eardrum.
Okay.
Okay, that is about the middle ear. Any doubt in this?
Middle. No. Sub clear.
Yes, very good. Now the most important part, that's your internal ear.
Most important?
Yes. Because the actual functioning of the ears is via the internal.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Ear, internal ear consists of two parts. एक होता है labyrinth, दूसरा होता है vestibular apparatus.
Okay.
Two parts of the internal ear, the labyrinth and the vestibular apparatus.
Vestibular apparatus.
Bony labyrinth, membranous labyrinth.
Okay.
Okay. So it's one outer part of this labyrinth called the bony labyrinth. Inner one is the membrane. See the parts where they are pointing out.
Okay. Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And the other thing is the vestibular apparatus. वो अंदर वाला part है, will come. Okay, vestibule करके labeled है.
Okay. Yes, I can see.
We'll come to that. ठीक है, slightly complicated है. ध्यान से सुनो. Now, this the bony labyrinth, the membranous labyrinth, they are filled with two fluids. Bony labyrinth के अंदर filled है perilymph and membranous labyrinth के अंदर filled है endolymph.
Endoperi.
Okay, bony labyrinth, perilymph, A membranous labyrinth, endolymph.
Endo. Yes, correct. Got it.
And then below the labyrinth portion, if you see, there is a coiled
हाँ.
portion present, which is called the cochlea. मतलब ये ऊपर वाला labyrinth है, नीचे coiled portion है cochlea.
Oh, okay, ठीक है. Okay.
Getting it?
Getting it.
Okay. Location समझ रहा है?
Yes.
इसके?
हाँ, yes.
ठीक है? Okay.
Yes.
तो यहाँ पर देख लिया cochlea पर, ठीक है? Now.
Cochlea. Yes.
Cochlea. This cochlea has got two chambers.
Cochlea has got?
कॉक्लिया के पास है कॉइल ऐसा शहनाई जैसा है गोल एकदम. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Chambers which are filled with fluid.
Fluid. Okay.
Getting it? And it's like I'll show
Getting it.
you कि अगर कॉक्लिया को मैं अंदर से yeah. See, suppose if this is the cochlea, I take a section.
Okay. Fine.
Like this.
ठीक है.
Each one is separated in a fluid. Getting it?
Okay.
Okay. So ये जो वाला partition है,
हाँ.
called as the Retinous membrane. And
Listeners.
that partition which is there, उसको बोलते हैं basilar membrane.
Wait. Oh, okay. ठीक है. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Upper chamber उसको बोलते हैं scala vestibuli. This one.
हाँ. हाँ.
Okay. Bottom chamber is called scala tympani.
हाँ.
Okay. And middle one is called scala media. ऐसे करके कॉक्लिया के 3 चेंबर्स हैं.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Scala vestibuli and scala tympani are filled with
Okay.
and
Oh
scala
no.
is
Okay.
filled with endolymph.
Okay.
Getting it?
Getting it.
अच्छी तरह समझ रहा है locations.
Yes. अच्छे से.
All these parts you have to remember. Okay.
Okay. हाँ.
ये यहाँ पर भी दिखाई देगा. See diagram यहाँ पे थोड़ा complicated है. That's why I was just showing you that representation. Now you understood that, right?
अभी मेरे को ज़्यादा समझा.
हाँ. Okay. So here organ of Corti करके देखना. See this.
Organ of Corti.
Corti.
Yes, I can see.
यहाँ पे दिख रहा है. ये देख.
हाँ.
Getting it?
Organ of Corti.
P-shaped organ है जो यहाँ पे दिख रहा है. You can see scala, scala media, scala tympani, basilar membrane, moss membranes section में.
Yes.
तो यहाँ पर in the center you have the organ of Corti. Location clear है? Organ of Corti का.
Clear है.
It's a P-shaped organ, small one.
Okay.
That is at the on the basilar membrane.
हाँ. Okay.
Organ of Corti है, उसका representation यहाँ बता रहा हूँ, ध्यान से सुनो, ठीक है? Organ of has got one sensory epithelium.
Only. Oh, okay.
Sensory epithelium. That level. ऐसा cells. Getting it?
Okay.
This sensory epithelium is present over the basilar membrane.
Over the basilar membrane.
Getting it? Okay.
Getting it.
So this sensory cells, ये जो sensory epithelium है, इसके जो cells हैं, these cells they have hair-like structures on one side, like this.
Hair-like?
There are small hair-like structures on one side.
Okay. Fine.
Cell भी बोलते हैं.
हाँ. Okay.
In between the hair cells, there are some cells present, जिसको बोलते हैं supporting cells.
Supporting cells.
There are something called supporting cells.
Supporting cells. Yes.
Okay. So जो hair cells हैं, इसको अगर बहुत बारीकी से देखेंगे तो there are microvilli present. जैसे intestine के wall पे था, याद है absorption के लिए?
हाँ. Yes. I remember.
Microvilli. इसको यहाँ पे बोलते हैं stereocilia. stereocilia. They have six
Okay, easy.
on their apical surface, and there is jelly-like membrane above it, जिसको बोलते हैं tectorial membrane.
Okay, ठीक है, got it.
Cilia से attached है. तो ये बेसिलर मेम्ब्रेन, ये सेंसरी सेल्स, हेयर सेल्स, स्टीरियोसिलिया, सपोर्टिंग सेल्स एंड द टेक्टोरियल मेम्ब्रेन. समझा?
Okay, easy, समझा.
Getting it? ये ऑर्गन ऑफ कॉर्टी का स्ट्रक्चर बता रहा हूँ मैं. Okay, now what happens is this microvilli of the hair cells are in contact with the tectorial membrane. Tectorial membrane is ultimately connected to the auditory nerve.
Correct.
ये मतलब hair cells जब sound waves के वजह से stimulate हो गए, so they press against the tectorial membrane.
Oh, I got it.
Tectorial membrane will perceive the stimulus of the sound, transmit that to the auditory nerve, taking it to the brain.
Okay, got it.
Now is it clear?
Clear.
All the parts are clear.
Yes.
Tectorial membrane is a jelly-like membrane.
Jelly.
So
Okay.
the organ है, organ of Corti. That's why it is said to is a transducer.
Transducer.
Transducer वाला काम करता है because it is able to convert the sound vibrations into nerve impulses.
अच्छा, okay, okay, got it.
Getting it? That's the function.
Yes.
अच्छी तरह समझा?
Yes, अच्छी तरह समझा.
Okay. So ultimately, what is happening now, as far as the hearing is concerned, see, sound waves enter through the ear pinna.
Correct.
Okay. It will pass through the auditory canal.
Correct.
It will vibrate the eardrum or the tympanic membrane.
Yeah.
The vibration is passed on to malleus, followed by incus, followed by state. Okay. Stapes of the middle ear will pass on the vibrations to the cochlea.
Cochlea.
Internal ear. But cochlea se pehle this labyrinth, which is a part of. So now in the cochlea, what is happening now? See the sound waves which are coming up. यहाँ पे flowchart दिया शायद से. Okay, fine. See this. Okay, now what happens is cochlea के अंदर जो endolymph है, that will vibrate. So in the endolymph there is a wave generated. एंडोलिम्फ में साउंड वेव्स के वजह से देयर इज अ वेव. एंडोलिम्फ इज अ फ्लूइड, वहां पे वेव पूल बन जाएगा साउंड वेव्स की वजह से. बिकॉज ऑफ दैट वेव इन द एंडोलिम्फ देयर आर रिपल्स इन द बेसिलर मेम्ब्रेन क्रिएटेड. बेसिलर मेम्ब्रेन के मूवमेंट के वजह से उसके ऊपर जो हेयर सेल्स हैं, आई शोड यू द डायग्राम, दो सेंसरी हेयर सेल्स विल प्रेस अगेंस्ट द टेक्टोरियल मेम्ब्रेन. Okay, you're not audible clearly, Supriya. थोड़ा blurred आ रहा है.
Now?
थोड़ा okay, ठीक है, चलो continue. So the sound waves will press against the tectorial membrane. Tectorial membrane will generate the nerve impulse, and that afferent neuron will send the nerve impulse and the sound to the brain via auditory nerve. And in the brain, the auditory cortex will decode whatever sound is there.
Yes. Got it.
Yes. So if
Okay, got it.
Flow chart. So what will be the pathway? Sound waves come. Ear, the ear pinna. Auditory canal.
Yes.
Eardrum or the tympanic membrane, followed by malleus, incus, stapes.
Yes.
Okay. After stapes, it will be the cochlea. The cochlea endolymph.
Yes.
Okay. In the endolymph, it will be passing on to the basilar membrane.
Okay.
देखना है यहाँ पर. Okay. Basilar membrane से sound waves are transmitted to sensory hair cells. The
Okay, got it.
followed by tectorial membrane in the organ of Corti, transmitting it to the auditory nerve, passing it to the brain.
Yes.
That's how we hear things.
Okay, got it.
So is that this part of the ear clear?
Clear.
अच्छी तरह से
Yes, अच्छे
you
तरह से.
understand the structure of the internal ear and the mechanism of hearing.
Okay, yes, you're right. So can you hear me properly now?
Our ears, they have got some capacity of bearing a sound. एक लिमिट से ज्यादा साउंड इंटेंसिटी हुआ तो your ears cannot bear it. So if there is a sudden huge explosion, a very loud sound, so that is cannot detected by the ear, so your eardrums will just tear apart. बहुत ज्यादा loud sound हुआ तो if that happens, no sound is perceived by the ears. That's why pollution should be avoided. Up to a certain limit, your ears can bear it. After that, it is dangerous. Now, is this part clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Other function of the ear we have to see, and that is the mechanism of balance. The balance, you have something called semicircular canals in the internal ear.
Semicircular canal is?
The hearing part, वो हो गया अपना. Okay.
Correct.
Semicircular canals and otolith organ. ये दोनों मिलाकर बनता है vestibular apparatus, which is all. ध्यान से सुन. The inner ear or the internal ear has got cochlea. वो हो गया.
Yes.
Besides the cochlea, we have vestibular apparatus, जिसमें है semicircular canals, and along with there is a utriculosaccular region. ये दोनों मिलाकर बनता है vestibular apparatus, which is concerned with the balance. Okay. तो यहाँ पे 3 semicircular canals भी से. So 3 ऐसे जैसे structures है which are at 3 different angles. एक ऐसा, तो एक ऐसा.
Okay.
Getting it? You can see over here. Semicircular canal, this one, this second, and this third. दिख रहा है?
Third. Yes, I can see it.
Posterior, lateral, ऐसे करके लिखा है देखो.
Correct. Yeah.
All 3 are semicircular canals. Getting it? Now, the base of these canals, the base of यहाँ पे तीनों canal का common point of origin है. There is an ampulla.
What is ampulla?
It is the sensory spot. Ampulla is the portion जहाँ पे वो तीनों connect हो रहे हैं. There is a sensory spot here which is called as crista.
Crista, I know crista.
Okay, and this crista in the ampulla at the base of the 3 semicircular canals is the one responsible for maintaining equilibrium.
Equilibrium. Okay, wow.
If you are standing, if you are running, if you are walking, your body needs to be in equilibrium, balanced, gravity ka balance.
Okay.
That is because of this. And your canals with endolimbs.
Okay, got it.
Endolymph. Getting it?
Getting it.
Okay. And then there are 2 other sensory spots. एक होता है saccula of the saccule. You can see the saccule over here. ये देखो अंदर.
I can. Yeah.
And utricle दूसरा. That also diagram. दिख रहा है? ये दोनों भी sensory spots है. तो मैक्यूला में होते हैं hair cells and supporting cells.
Okay.
Getting it? So hair cells ऊपर. We are talking about macula over here. Saccule का.
Correct.
Saccule में जो hair cells हैं, just like what you saw in the case of pectoral membrane.
Pectoral membrane.
इसी तरह से macula के hair cells and the cilia above that, there is a gelatinous sheath covering it, जिसको बोलते हैं otolith membrane.
Sir, wait, what is otolith membrane?
See, I'll show you that same way again. See, saculum, macula में there are this kind of hair cells present.
Correct.
Okay, उसके ऊपर ये सीबिया वगैरह हैं छोटे छोटे.
Yes.
So there is a gelatinous membrane above it.
Yes.
A thick one. It's a thick gelatinous sheath which is present above it. उसको बोलते हैं with membrane. This one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. इस membrane के अंदर there are minute particles which are secreted.
Minute.
Yes. उसको बोलते हैं otoliths, also called otophonia.
Okay, got it.
These small particles which are secreted beneath this membrane. इस तरह के छोटे-छोटे particles.
Okay, got it.
And these particles, otolith particles, they are made up of calcium carbonate and protein.
Okay, which is in my body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, calcium carbonate and protein. So ये जो macula और वो जो crista, ampulla का crista, these both are the receptors. So whenever position of your head will change according to okay, so hair cells get stimulated. Now if I
Okay, wow. This I didn't know. Okay, got it.
so my body is in equilibrium. It's a balanced one.
Yes.
But suppose I head like this. It is not imbalanced.
Oh yes, you're right.
Otoliths over here and the macula and the crista, they will become sensitive. They will send a message to the brain that it is not in equilibrium. Usko sahi position pe lekar with respect to gravity.
Okay, got it.
Okay, that's semicircular canals are arranged in such a way. Anterior, posterior, lateral, तीनों हमने देखा.
Yes, correct.
Arranged in such a way that the movement which you do in any plane, ऐसे रखो या ऐसे रखो या ऐसे रखो, any direction. Or if I keep rotating like this, that can be detected by these cells, and the balance and the posture of the body can be maintained.
Oh, okay, got it. Nice. Wow.
So they are present in the cristae of the ampullae. These receptors are present.
Cristae, yeah.
Of the ampullae, they contain receptors for dynamic balance. Remember this.
Dynamic balance? Oh yes, correct.
When you are not sitting at one place, when you are moving. So during movement, in order to understand the balance, वो जो dynamic balance हुआ, उसका receptor है ampullae के cristae में.
Oh, okay, got it.
Balance is called static or linear balance. When you are not moving, when you are fixed at one place, either standing or sitting. उस वक्त अगर imbalance हो गया equilibrium में, then the receptors are present in the maculae of the utriculus and sacculus.
Okay, got it.
Is that clear?
Yes, that is clear.
Understand clearly how the ears are able to detect the balance or the imbalance and also the hearing function.
Yes, you're right.
अच्छी तरह समझा?
Yes, अच्छी तरह समझा.
Finishes with human ear.
Thank God. Wow.
Human eye and the human ear, both are done.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we are almost at the end of the nervous system. Just one more small part is we'll finish it off. So nervous system will be totally done. So next time we can continue chemical coordination.
Yes, of course.
After you have understood the entire nervous system, neurons, nerves, their location, structure, function, everything, we have to also see what kind of disorders can happen with the nervous system. Okay. So when you talk about nervous system, there are disorders which are associated with one's psychology. Am I right? You know what is psychology? Yes, Supriya, are you there? See, whenever we talk about disorders of the nervous system, it is associated with one's psychology and behavior. Okay. So it has got a wide range of reasons. It's not always a physical reason as such. Okay, so it's like one's mood can be affected, thinking, behavior, if it is away from the normal. Up to a certain limit is understood. We cannot call it as a disorder, but more than that, if you say, then it is a disorder. And if it is persistent for a long lasting one, and if it is not showing signs of improvement, then it can create distress for the person. And then in such conditions, proper professional help is needed. Earlier they were called as mental disorders, but then the use of this word was not much into practice, because it's like in the social life, whenever there is a problem with the mental health, and if you try to approach a doctor or for help, there is a common layman word that is used, "Ye to pagal hai." So it affects the person more. It is always necessary that whenever there is any disorder of even this type, one should, without any hesitation, take the professional help. It's like if you are having any problem with your stomach or the kidney or the liver or the lungs, you don't show any hesitation in visiting a doctor. So even when you require mental help also, there are professionals available. There is no shame associated with it. That awareness must come in the society. Like if people are putting across such comments, you should ignore them. And if you come across some other person who is requiring such kind of help, you are not supposed to pass on comments. Okay, so psychological disorders are of various types. There can be intellectual disability. That means for that age, the person is not having that proper intellect. Okay, mental retardation we would say. Then there is something called autism, behavioral disorder, bipolar disorder, depression. Nowadays it is increasing. So we have counselors for help. Anxiety, getting too much anxious over situations. क्या होगा ऐसे सोचते हैं ना? Anxiety. ADHD, some people have this habit. They want to gain attention. They want to gain sympathy. That is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Especially in children, it is observed that they purposely will do something wrong, even if they know it, just because they want attention, even if it is a negative attention. To some extent, it's okay, it can be managed, but more than a limit, it will require professional help. Okay, there can be stress related disorders also. Nowadays, lifestyle stress has increased a lot. Okay, so let's take an example, two such examples we can discuss. Like the more you go into details of these psychological disorders, it's like a huge discussion. Okay, there is a specialized branch of study also, neurology, when you study after medical field. Okay, so there is a physical approach to it and there is a psychological approach to it. Okay, both the ways it can be done. So there are counselors, psychiatrists, psychologists who can then enter into any branch based on the disorders that you study. Okay, one of them is Parkinson's disease. Now in the CNS, there is a hormone called as dopamine. Dopamine is also called as the love hormone. Okay, that lingering sensation that happens. Okay, when a person is having good affection for someone. So dopamine. So those neurons which produce that dopamine, there is a degeneration of that taking place. The neurons degenerate. Then it causes something called Parkinson's disease. So symptoms is like not a sudden one. Slowly it will start and then it will progress. So tremors, stiffness, tremors मतलब ऐसे mild shaking, okay, hands and all, stiffness एकदम कड़क भी हो जाएगा, difficulty in walking, balance, coordination, all that can happen in Parkinson. So it's not a complete treatment as such, but there are treatments available, regular checkups and consultancies needed. So they need proper care by the family. That is most important. In this kind of psychological disorders, nervous disorders, if the our close family people, if they take care of the person properly, the healing becomes better. If they are sidelined, if people get irritated with them, their disease only progresses. That is very important. Then the next one we have to understand is Alzheimer's disease. In simple terms, we say memory loss. Okay, so Dementia is actually memory loss, but when it progresses more with age, with other functioning, then it is Alzheimer's. It shows loss of cognitive functioning, thinking, remembering, reasoning out things, okay, behavioral ability. It extends to such an extent that it interferes with the person's daily life and activities. The person can turn violent also, but that is the time when a person has to be handled properly, proper care. Getting it? Otherwise, the progress of the disease will happen fast. So there is loss of cholinergic and other neurons in the CNS and accumulation of amyloid proteins, physically speaking, that can lead to Alzheimer's. So as such, unfortunately, there is no cure for Alzheimer's, but more and more treatment and consultancy can only slow down the progress and prolong the problems of the patients. And slightly it can improve the quality of life. That's the clinical part of it. But apart from that, emotional counseling, handling the patients with care and all can be understood. So sometimes it progresses to such an extent that a person actually forgets one's own family members also. Okay, so that can be very, very traumatic also. It has to be handled with care. So as per the syllabus, these are the two neurological disorders that you have to learn, which we have discussed. There are many more. You can always read and learn about it, and this can become a very interesting branch of study in the future. Okay, so hope you have understood the nervous system completely properly. Okay, so we have studied the nervous system as a part of control and coordination fully, and we have completed this part. In the next lecture, we will continue with the other system, which is also concerned with control and coordination, and that is endocrine system. Okay, that will begin in the next lecture. Okay, bye.